So as you just saw, my Hellcat was taken November 17th at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's the worst way to wake up, I promise you, but it is very effective. A Hellcat alarm clock. My whole body was shaking. Every time I cold started that car, everything inside the house was shaking if I had the car backed up to the window. And so again, I finally felt what my neighbors felt like for the past 2 years while I was driving that thing. I was cold started every morning at 5:30 in the morning to go to the gym. And you know, someone returned the favor to me in my own car. Not a great experience, but what I want to do in this video is I want to share with you some ways that you can protect your car, but just my general thoughts on the matter, right? Like, it's not ideal, but you know, these things don't define us, they don't make us. If anything, they just allow us growth opportunities. And in most cases, if you have a garage, you're already infinitely more protected than I was. I mean, I tried to pretty much push it and get a Hellcat without having a garage. Again, in a perfect world, you can do that. In our world, the world we live in right now, no, I wouldn't do that. I think that's a big fat mistake. But you know, the bottom line is you have to protect the things that you want to keep, because if you take them for granted, you're not going to keep them for very long. And being honest, I took the car for granted. I mean, that's why I don't have it anymore. So there you go. But regardless, I wanted offers from it, or I wanted offers on it because it was good. And as I was getting ready to sign the paperwork and send it back to Vroom, you know, I had the idea that I wanted to list it on Facebook Marketplace and see if I could get a little extra for it. You know, I mean, a private sale, you may be able to get a few extra $1,000s. That sounded pretty appetizing to me at the time, because I was trying to, of course, maximize my potential. You know, the same car that I'm selling with a little more work sells for $5,000 more. Why not put in that little bit of work? Well, I listed it on Facebook Marketplace for sale, and what I did not know at the time, and what you guys need to be aware of, is that when you list something on Facebook Marketplace, Facebook's going to share a pretty precise location of where that listing is coming from. Now, if you're a dealership, that's not an issue, but you know, if you're a guy like me who lives in a townhome without a garage, you know, that's a problem. And so I didn't know that until after the fact. And so again, just as I was getting ready to go submit the paperwork to accept the offer from Vroom, I noticed that someone had tried to break into my car the night before. Our neighborhood, it has people coming through and looking through the cars pretty frequently. So again, I didn't think anything of it. I was an idiot. But the bottom line was, there was these thieves, and you know, they tried to get into that night and they couldn't get into it somehow. And so they came back over the course of the next month, and they were actually able to grab it from me. I didn't really realize, but I led them right to me. I mean, unfortunately, they were able to come find out wherever that car was located because of this pretty precise location. So just be aware of that. If you're selling anything on Facebook, just be aware that Facebook may be giving more information than you realize. I didn't know this again until after it was too late. But the bottom line is, these thieves knew exactly where my car was, and it was only a matter of time. Again, I can't really protect it if I don't have a garage and I don't have any of these extra security measures. And at the time, I did not know how serious this problem was with Mopars being stolen, and they're a joke. I mean, you can make a new key for one in less than 2 minutes just about. So again, it's just, there's better cars to own right now if you want to sleep well at night. But this isn't an issue if you have land, if you've got a garage, if you have some security measures in place. And that's all I'm preaching here, is that I had pretty much absolutely zero of that. So it was probably the easiest car they could have taken. That's why they were taunting me after the fact. It's unfortunate, but I can only pray for these guys. It's like, in what world do you think that, like, that's your best bet at providing value? Like, that's just, I don't know, to me it's crazy. My dog starts barking, and I get up and I go look out the window, and I'm staring at my car, because at this point I'm already on alert. Like, again, someone came by, they damaged the hell out of this thing. I'm not losing any sleep over it, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, I'm on alert. So my dog starts barking at like 2:50 in the morning. Again, I don't know what time it was, I didn't check, but I get up, I go look out the window, and I'm just staring at my car. It's still there, right? There's no issues. I'm looking around, I don't notice anything, but again, I'm dead tired, man. And I fell asleep at probably around 10, and I'm up around 3 a.m. getting woken up to a dog barking. It's not really ideal. So I don't think anything of it. I don't notice anything. And so I go back to bed, and I don't know how long I was asleep for, but it's one of those feelings where you know that you haven't been asleep that long, but you were almost there. It's that weird feeling of in between. Well, when it starts up, everything in the house shakes. So I felt it, my soul felt it. And again, I'm pretty quick to distinguish what's a dream and what's not a dream, and I knew for a fact that, like, that was real. But I jump out of bed, I go look out the window, and sure enough, that car that I was just looking at 10 minutes ago, what I think is 10 minutes ago, is no longer there. And at that point, I go back to the room and I call 911. So I'm on the phone with 911 within 60 seconds saying, hey, My Hellcat was just stolen. I think it's going to be getting on 66 eastbound near a Haymarket. You know, I'm trying to give them as much information as I can because I'm just thinking like these thieves would. It's like if I stole a Hellcat near me, I'd be on 66 within 2 minutes from Haymarket, and I guarantee that's what they did. But cops got there, pretty much just told me, hey, like, sorry bud, but yeah, state police lost your car, you know, we'll update you if we know anything. And I never heard anything back. So again, disheartening. So I want to make sure that you guys don't experience that. It's not an ideal situation. It's not something that any of you should have to go through. Dodge is stepping up their security measures. They're putting things in place with some of the newer models that make this less likely. Now the issue with mine is that these thieves, they reprogrammed a brand new key for my car. So I'm assuming that if I went out there and they were interrupted, my key wouldn't have worked anymore. And so what they do, again, I think they've got like a key tablet from like a locksmith of some sort, and they just essentially go into your car with your VIN number, or they plug it into the OBD port, I think. I really don't know. And they reprogram a brand new key, because what I do is I keep my keys in a RFID signal blocking box, so there's no chance of, you know, someone repeating my key fob signal and taking my car from that manner. They have to do something else. And so, you know, these dudes, you know, I give them the term professional very loosely. They're professionals in the sense that this is all they do. They just focus on fucking people over through ways that people can't imagine. But at the end of the day, all you need to do is make sure that, again, your car has some extra security measures in place, and mainly being a kill switch. There needs to be a way that that car does not start when someone that shouldn't be in it is in it. You need to have this sort of secret process to starting your own car if you're driving one of these Hellcats. And it's sad, man. You shouldn't have to do all this extra work to drive such a nice car, but the extra work is worth keeping these cars safe and sound. They're not making these things much anymore. These things are a dying breed. You do need to protect them. But, you know, the bottom line is, don't be naive like me. These things are so easy to get into. They're so easy to steal. It's a joke. I didn't think it was that easy. Otherwise, I would have had at least an alarm on the motherfucker. I mean, I had them messing with my car and the alarm didn't go off not once. That's crazy to me. That's just absolutely crazy. Broke out the driver's side window, and again, that was that. And so they're driving down 66, probably going 180 miles an hour when it's, I would imagine, 25, 30 degrees outside. And I bet you their little fingers are nice and cold. I'm hoping that they turned on the heated steering wheel. I mean, at least keep them a little bit warm until they get back to when they can dismantle my fucking car. But, you know, these are things that happen in this world. Don't be naive and think this shit doesn't happen. There's some fucking horrible people out there watching this video right now, waiting for a chance to fucking do something they know they shouldn't, but they're just numb to it at this point because, well, thanks, Mom and Dad. For me, it's like, yeah, insurance took care of me, but why would I go get something brand new? Clearly, these guys are waiting for insurance money because they've checked on me several times. They're looking to see what I got next. So my goal now is to get a home, some land where I can protect myself, where if there's anybody outside my house at 3 o'clock in the morning, well, I shouldn't be held liable for what happens next because, well, there's no reason for you to be there. So you might be wondering, what can you do to protect your car? You know, when they say Mopar or no car, they truly mean it, right? At the end of the day, you just need to do a little bit of work on your part. Now, if you have the money, and you should have the money to have this car, you should just go get RAVELCO. I mean, it's going to be your best bet. It's going to keep you the most protected, and really, you're going to have the most peace of mind with a product like that. And what this does is this adds like a pin system to your car to where only you can pretty much start this thing. You're going to know the location of it. There's just a lot of benefits to having a kill switch of some sort on your vehicle, right? Where it doesn't start unless you have this pin or this key. And the more measures you have in front of somebody who shouldn't be driving your car, the better it is. Even a steering wheel lock is going to add some time and slow them down, and that's all you need. An extra 30 to 45 seconds can go a really long way when it comes to someone trying to steal your shit. If I could do it over, I'd have RAVELCO on my car. I would have dash cams all over it. I should have known, and I should have been able to see what they were doing to my car before they actually took it. In terms of, again, I call these guys professionals very loosely because of the amount of mistakes that they made. They just happened to be messing with somebody who honestly didn't know any better, right? And so at this point in time, now that I'm on high alert, I won't be a victim again, but I don't even consider myself a victim to begin with. I mean, it's my fault. I didn't do anything to protect my car. I led them to where I lived at. Like, That's pretty fucking goofy. You're gonna have some moments in life where things just don't go right, you know? Other than having a kill switch and dash cams, what else can you do? Well, in all reality, you just need to be alert and vigilant. Again, I would not recommend owning one of these cars without a garage. Even gated communities and things of that sort, man, they're a joke. You can drive through those things without presenting any ID, without having any sort of hardship. I mean, again, it's not an actual sense of security. And even having a garage, you need to take some extra steps, because those aren't even foolproof, right? You know, there's things that we can do that make ourselves even more secure. And like I'm saying, you know, these cars are not going to be around forever. You need to protect them. They're not going to be here that long. But I'm excited, man. Again, I know these things aren't ideal, but when you hit rock bottom, so to speak, with something like that, it just sets you up for a massive comeback. And I know the next car that I have is going to put an even bigger smile on my face. And again, I'm just excited for that. But for the time being, until I can find me a house, which, as I'm sure you guys know, is absolutely crazy right now, we got to take things a little easy and just make some moto vlogs instead. So stay tuned. Oh, dude, these sport bikes are plenty fast, but that Hellcat was something special. You know, the power to weight ratio is absolutely insane. You know, these motorcycles are incredible, but man, that Hellcat, it pulls on this thing. You know, again, this thing feels fast, but side by side with the Hellcat, it absolutely doesn't stand a chance. Especially past like 90 miles an hour, it's game over. Don't be an idiot like me and watch two dudes drive away in your Hellcat on your ring camera at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's not the place to be, man. Don't be that guy. Let me be that guy for you, so you don't have to be that guy. I really just wish I honestly had a dash cam on my car. If I had a dash cam, I would have had so much more information about what was going on. I could have been much better protected, but you know, that brings me to a point I want to address. You know, a lot of people want to be so quick to say they're going to kill someone trying to take their car. Now, if someone's putting your life in danger and they're trying to yank you out of it, then yeah, you do what you got to do. But in my specific situation, I'm so thankful that I didn't sit there and watch these guys. Like, again, if they did, I could have called the cops. But you know, we don't think straight when people are messing with our stuff and we're tired and things of that sort. You know, who knows? Maybe I would have got my gun. You know, and they're 10 feet from my window. But what I'm trying to get at is that it's not worth taking someone's life over a car like this unless they threaten yours, right? If they threaten your life, then game on. But you know, some shit like this, just let insurance do its thing and ultimately just chill. Because what you don't realize is that if you kill somebody and they've got some complications and some issues, let's just imagine that you shoot somebody trying to steal your car. That's not an ideal person to begin with, so it's not crazy to think that maybe they've got, you know, some child support payments. Maybe they got a couple different baby moms. You're allowed to defend your property in Virginia. You're allowed to defend your life, but you can't defend your property. So if I take someone's life trying to steal my Hellcat and they've got all these other complications, I'm not trying to pay someone else's child support and all this other stuff. And you better believe that mother would come after whoever stopped, you know, that providing that source of payments, right? Like, come on now, that's not me. I'm not a killer. Doesn't mean I won't protect myself, but I don't have these fantasies about doing this horrible stuff, man. I just want to be left alone and do my own thing, like most of you. Listen, scream! Virginia has some amazing motorcycle roads. Honestly, some of the best. I'm hoping that you guys gain something from this video. I have a link in the description with a Google Doc with all the research that I've done in terms of different devices and products that you can use to save your car. Everything that we've talked about in this video is on that list, and then there's some extra stuff. So again, take the time, protect your car. Don't spend the money on one of these cars right now and let it get taken by some dude who just honestly doesn't deserve to fucking feel what it feels like to drive a Hellcat. But, you know, I don't blame him, man. I imagine there's probably no better adrenaline rush than taking some white guy's Hellcat and driving that down 66 going 200 miles an hour, but I digress. Let's wait for James. We got a little carried away. We have to make sure he keeps up. Tell me this 600 is not the perfect bike. That is a rush, man. That is an absolute rush. God. Holy smokes, man. I promise the Hellcat never made me feel like that. Ooh, man.
I want to give away everything that I still have for the vehicle that could be of use to somebody else. So we've got, of course, the leg maker intake. We've got the 2 rear rotors that I did not need to replace when I was replacing my brakes. We've got the Power Stop Extreme ceramic brake pads, leftover oil, and then also this oil filter, not filter, but funnel for when you're putting oil into your Hellcat. And so this is actually specifically made for Mopar and SRT, and it just screws right on top of the oil entrance. So that'll be useful for somebody. My Hellcat drank a lot of oil, so I know that'll be useful. And then we've also got the brake pads for those who don't like all the brake dust that comes with the stock Brembo pads. And so I hope this makes, again, someone's life a little bit easier. I know it's nice to have some of these things on the car. The leg maker intake is awesome. And here's the red key. Mine only came with 2 keys. It was 1 red key, 1 black key, but you know, this is all I've got left. And then of course I've got some glass from the window they broke. So like, here's all that's left from the actual car itself. Not much. So those are the details of the giveaway. All you have to do to enter: like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, giveaway, and then once we hit 2,500 subscribers, I'll go ahead and pick somebody. You didn't think I'd actually eat that glass, did you?